What's good with the YouTube? You already know. Big Flacco from a convict's perspective, man. And check this out, man. I got some exclusive premiere material that's going to be dropping. That's going to be sizzling hot, man. I got none other than the legendary founder of the Rider movement and president, Maurice Vasquez, a.k.a. Badass Snoop. You guys already know about him. Definitely with that action. Been around the system for a long time, man. And he got a couple things that he wants to be pushing on this platform. And I'm going to allow him to use this platform to speak his truth, his experience, and what he went through. And I have him on right now.
Absolutely, man. Hey, good evening, Freckle.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, you know, I felt compelled to reach out to you, and I don't normally respond to, you know, these false narratives and these, you know, these fictitious stories that some of these schmucks come up with, but, you know, I felt that it was imperative that I initiate contact so that way I can speak the truth regarding a fictitious story that this schmuck posted I think it was about a month ago. It was brought to my attention. And like I said, man, I don't like putting, you know, negative energy out there. You know, I've got a lot of my own things going on right now, but I felt compelled to let the, you know, people out there know the truth regarding what actually transpired. You know, I'm not going to, you know, get into any of that right now. You know, it's late. Yeah, I got things to do tomorrow morning.
This call is being recorded.
Yeah, as you know where I'm at right now. You know, of course, what I'm dealing with right now. But I am going to address this issue tomorrow. I will definitely be addressing this issue. And what it's going to be pertaining to is a fictitious story that this schmuck by the name of Rascal posted, I think it's about a month ago, maybe a couple months ago. But it was brought to my attention. And, yeah, it's just complete, utter shenanigans. So, we'll be touching bases on that tomorrow.
Most definitely. And, yeah, there's a couple other things we'll be touching base in the future. This is just a quick, to let you guys know, I expect to premiere tomorrow night. Tap in, you know what I mean? Let everybody know. It's just be some interesting fire content, man. With that said, we out.
Okay, thank you.
So, as you guys know, man, I previously mentioned, man, I actually know Snoop. You know, I did time with him when I was a young kid, man. And I can corroborate a lot of things, man. He was definitely, what people don't realize, and I'm going to say this very clearly, man, is people thought that maybe he came in like he didn't want to program. Nah, he followed the HHPs that was expected of every Northerner or Northenian at that time. He would post up. He even did patrols sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I can vouch. He was functioning on that yard. You know what I mean? And I actually knew him. He was actually in the same building together. We used to play pinochle and all that shit back then.
You know, one of the things, Flacco, that I you know, really want to emphasize is a lot of these dudes, you know, claim to know me and, you know, claim to have been on the yard with me or claim to have encountered me, and they're full of crap. I don't know any of these guys, man. I don't know, you know, this dude Gunner and all these other schmucks that are using my name and my likeness to propel their platforms. You know.
Yeah.
With you, I contacted you. You know, we discussed. You know, I didn't even remember you at first. You know.
Then it dawned on you.
You know, you described yourself, and you know, you actually let me know what yard you were on with me, where you were at with me. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, whatever, you know, history you've got, whatever you've got going on, you know, whatever transpired in your life, that's your story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most definitely.
But I can actually vouch for the fact that you actually do know me, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
We were on the same yard together. You know, we were on Solano level 3, which was called. We were on 1 yard at that time.
1 yard. Yep,
you know?
we were in building 3. You know, Hobo was there.
Absolutely.
Fucking Carlos, Smiley, fucking Mac was there. Fucking both the cats from fucking Stockton, that looked alike. Joe,
My boy Chino.
Yeah. They were all there.
That
Fucking
was Chino. My boy
Puppet,
Elias Gonzalez. That's a good friend of mine.
Chops from Broderick, Puppet from Southeast, not
Absolutely.
K9 from Sakura. All those cats were there, man. You know.
Yeah, because these what I don't appreciate is a lot of these dudes. They come with these these made up stories, man. Acting like they know me, and they really don't. They don't know me. They don't know my story. They don't know my history.
I've told people this before, right? I go, the one thing I remember that you told me, right, was you were used to fucking getting off and riding. That's what you told me. Like,
Absolutely.
these dudes are. That's the one thing. He goes, I see these dudes are. We should be riding on them. That was your attitude back then, and people don't realize it. That it kind of seemed like they were kind of withholding you from being you on that yard. Like fucking, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, and these are all the things. There's so many different nuances, if you will, to the rider movement, and these are some of the things that led me to make this grandiose decision that I made.
Yeah.
This thought-provoking decision that I made.
I can vouch for that, man. I was, and Snoop could tell you guys, I was like a kid, like 18, 19 years old on that yard. You know what I'm saying?
In fact,
This call is being recorded.
when you showed up to Solano, we were actually on lockdown for a riot that I kicked off.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. Where you rushed about you rushed. I think no, you went with the squad, but I heard that you hit about 3 or 4 dudes.
Absolutely. I mean, and you can even vouch for the fact of how many Norteños were with me and how many people we rushed. Do you remember hearing that?
I heard it was about 35 or 30.
Absolutely. And how many of us were a part of that hit squad?
I thought there was only 5.
Absolutely. Actually, there were 6 of us. There was me and 5 other individuals. But yeah, see, these are the stories.
I heard this. I heard this that they said, "Hey, why don't you get your boys to do this?" You said, "Fuck that, I'll do it myself."
Absolutely true, man. I think tomorrow I'll even touch bases on a little bit of that, on why that transpired, how that transpired, because this dude Rascal, I believe his name is Josh. I don't know what I don't even want to promote his page, but I never communicated with that dude. I never associated with that guy. That dude wasn't a part of my crowd.
I know. You guys would talk sometimes, though. You know what I'm saying? But you guys didn't kick it, though. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely we don't kick it. And there's a reason why. I'll clarify that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would definitely clarify that tomorrow, man. There are just a few things that I want to bring to the attention of the audience out there. That I think is necessary for people to know, because like I say, I don't often do interviews because I want to make sure that what I convey, the things that I express, that I'm in control of my own narrative. This is the truth, regarding my history, the truth regarding what actually transpired during these historical events. A lot of these events that occurred, now are still being talked about because they catapulted other events that eventually transpired.
Let me ask you something, right? This is something that we're going to touch base. Would there ever be a consideration to fucking maybe not be like as far as the politics at the NF and all that? Would there ever be a chance to be coexist in the future?
What a lot of people don't know. I'm not going to really get all into it. But we are no longer nemesis. They no longer regard us as their enemy. Okay. And quite frankly, nor do I.
Okay.
Nor do I.
No, I just asked that because it's like, I know there's a lot of dudes, like we were all like, everybody was once together. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, there's a lot of things that people aren't aware of. People don't know that there's many incidents that transpired that I didn't just. Let me clarify this. I didn't just wake up one day and spontaneously say, "Hey, I'm gonna create this movement." There was many
This call is being recorded.
incidents that transpired
Yeah.
that led up to this decision that I made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wasn't just something that. It wasn't just one individual. It wasn't just one individual event that occurred.
Yeah.
I always, emphasize that I was a righteous Norteño. The Norteño cause and struggle, it meant something to me. It was something that I held near and dear to my heart. There was never, I never allowed myself to be referred to as a Northerner, man.
Yeah.
I came into the system, at an early age, in the mid-'90s. And there's no way in the world, man, that I would ever allow somebody to refer to me as a Northerner. I felt that as being very disrespectful.
Yeah.
And as you know, those who came to prison and did not function within the dynamics of the Norte, we refer to them dudes as Northerners.
Yeah.
Those guys weren't regarded as Norteños.
Yeah.
And people need to understand that I was a Norteño.
Yeah.
I was never I never clicked up. I never became a part of the Nuestra Raza,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people regard as structure. I never became a part of the Nuestra Familia. I never advocated for those entities, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always a Norteño, man. And it was something that meant a lot to me,
Yeah, most definitely.
And there's reasons why I relinquished my identity. I never dropped out of anything. I was never kicked to the curb by my own people. There's nobody that can come on any of these platforms and say, "Hey, Snoop was deemed no good." There was a decision that was made. There was never anything that I did wrong that would be, to be labeled a DO. No one ever attacked me. No one ever removed me from a yard. This is a conscious, deliberate decision that I made that I was very, cognizant of. I knew what I was doing. I knew why I was doing it. And it's not a gang. It's not a prison gang. The Rider movement it's a social justice movement, is what it is.
Yeah, most definitely.
I was consciously aware of what was going on, Flaco.
Yeah.
You just expressed right now that I wasn't allowed. I was not being. Well, I can't say I wasn't being allowed.
I know your situation, bro, and I kind of relate some things that very few people know about it. You know what I mean?
And I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? And I've always mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? I know about the 9 situation out there in the streets too.
This call is being
You know what I mean?
recorded.
Such as, clarify that if you will. What do you mean by that?
About him bringing some stranger to your house and fucking basically you telling him to fucking he had to leave and fucking homeboy tried to go to the trunk to get something, so you just came out the roof and started blasting at him.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
At that time he brought someone that would be considered a known enemy to your house. You know what I'm saying? That you don't know, and you took action, and he tried to press the issue. You know what I'm saying? And
oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the funny thing is that's right after before that happened, he just left Corcoran. I was in Corcoran with him, man.
What's interesting is that
And
a lot of people don't even know about that incident.
I know about
People don't know that I was arrested for attempted murder because of that incident that you're mentioning right now.
Yeah.
See, it's incidents like that. Like I said just right now. We're speaking right now spontaneously. We didn't have an opportunity. I just chose to reach out, initiate contact with you.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever even mentioned that incident that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I've known about it. I think I mentioned it maybe before in the past.
That's an accurate assessment of what transpired, which led to me being arrested in 1999 for attempted murder.
Yep.
Now, as you know, like I said, at that time, I was a representative of the Norteño cause and struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The dude that I was arrested and accused of attempting to murder
Was broke.
as you know, yeah, he was clicked up.
You know, the funny thing about it, right? When he left Corcoran, he was supposed to look after me on bond 13. He never even reached back. I get a letter from his lady talking about he's on a parole violation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's a complete nuisance, man.
Yeah.
But you know, I try to help that dude too, man. And look, anybody that ever reached out to people know, bro. Anybody, you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like, you know, I was doing pretty good.
Let me interject here. Let me interject. This is one thing I'm gonna sit there and say about you, right? You got a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
You got a reputation in the system for having hands, right? Knocking fools out.
Absolutely.
But you were never a fucking bully. You
Absolutely
were never.
not.
There's dudes that sometimes take advantage of that, and they, you know what I mean? They press up and shit. But you were never one of those ones that tried to take advantage of the weak or nothing like that, man. That was never your style.
You know, I really appreciate you expressing that. Because a lot of people have this false narrative.
I mean, not everything you've done have I agreed with, but that's just my personal opinion too, though, bro. I'm not going to sit there and slander it either, though. It's like, okay, that's just my opinion. But as far as I know you, as far as a person, I never seen you sit there like, okay, let's just go prey on this dude because he's weak. No, you were never that person. You know what I'm saying?
Not.
You know,
in retrospect, I mean, there's things about you that I don't agree with neither. You know?
Yeah, I know.
But that's your story.
Exactly.
That's your story. That's your life. That's your decision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a hater, bro. I don't sit here and look for, you know, issues that I can sit here and hate on.
Yeah.
I'm not a negative person. I don't like putting negative energy out there in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because I understand that, you know, we live in a world where any energy you put out there will eventually be reciprocated.
Most definitely, man.
You know? So I try my best to live my life, you know, according to, you know, what's going on positive in my life, you know?
Yeah.
I try my best to be a positive person.
You know, that's the thing, man, is that regardless, most of us really want to encourage the positivity, though. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's what it comes down to, bro.
that's my narrative.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what I try. That's the reason why I don't respond to a lot of this nonsense, man.
Yeah.
But this issue that we're going to discuss a little more tomorrow, this is something I have to respond to. I have to have a rebuttal because it's complete, utter bullshit.
I don't really tomorrow when you do it. I don't really have nothing to add because I don't know anything about it. The only thing I will sit there and say, and this is not. I'm not. You know, I have my own issues with dude, right? But he's said the same story for 20-something years. That's the only thing I have to add to it. Other than that, I don't know what happened. I don't know anything. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know any of the details, just what he said. So this is your time to put your truth out there. And you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that know you that they've reached out to me. They said, nah, they don't believe that happened. You know what I mean?
This is the thing. Look at Flacco, this is the thing. You know as well as I know, if an incident like that transpired, well, everybody would be aware of it.
Yeah.
You just right now, spontaneous, I don't want to get excited, but you just right now spontaneously conveyed an incident that transpired that a lot of people don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And evidently, that information got to you through you know, it's a very small world, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small world, you know, within this cesspool of this underworld.
Yeah, it is.
That we live in. So the things that occur, the things that transpire, will eventually. Well, I just said it right now, man. It's going to eventually be reciprocated.
This call is being recorded.
Most definitely.
You know, this story that this schmuck, there's a reason why he says it. There's a reason why there's animosity. But he's the only one that says this story, bro. It was never, you know, reported. This never went through no type of chain of command. No decision was ever, you know, made as a result of this false story that this fictitious story that this guy invented. You know?
You know, according to the other homeboy that was the second in command, he said that the report would have had to go through him, and there was never any report. It was verbally reported.
Yeah,
it was verbally reported though. You know what I mean? That's
But the thing is this, you have to understand this.
Yeah.
But they would have been all over that.
I know.
People would have been all over that, man.
I totally agree.
People would have been repeating the story.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Big U knocking out 32 people. It would have been all over the fucking place. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We would have heard about it. So I have to agree with you on that. People would be talking about that. No, yeah, you're right about that. You know what I mean? Anyways, we're gonna end this because we don't want to give you guys too much, man. But man, stay tuned. He's gonna unleash his truth. You know what I mean? And
I will definitely be back in contact with you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It was good talking to you, man.
All right, hold up, brother.